Salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be doing a little book haul. I have some romance books, some fantasy, some special editions, and I'm really excited to chat with you guys today. Hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. We're doing another book haul. Even though I said I wasn't buying any more books. I said that because I didn't have any more space on my shelves, and I still don't have space. When it comes to collecting pretty books, it's my weakness. It really is. Have no excuse. I'm going to talk about all the pretty books that I've gotten recently. Okay, let's hop right in. Alright, first up, I'm going to be talking about a book that I have a ridiculous amount of copies of. Come in.
A party?
Oh my god, you look so beautiful.
Oh my god, you look so cute.
Thank you.
You did not walk in my room with that shirt on. You look good.
Thank you.
So pretty.
Thank you.
Are you going to wear that when...
So, Sophia, I have a little bit of a situation that I want to...
My family came into my room again, quiet all day long, and then when I film, chaos. They need to speak with me immediately, apparently. I'm gonna start with a book that I have multiple copies of. It's kind of ridiculous, but I love this book with every fiber of my being. I've talked about it nonstop on my channel. It's practically become my entire personality, and that is Serpentine Valentine by Gianna Darling. Yeah, I have 4 copies of this book. Do I regret that? No, I don't. Every copy is different. You have a whole reading vlog where I read this book. I was crying. I was just raving about it. It is absolutely one of my favorite books of not only the entire year so far, but I think one of my favorite books of all time. This is a sapphic dark academia romance with a little bit of a Medusa retelling. The writing in this book is so stunning because it is a Medusa retelling. It has references to like Greek mythology and classic literature. Writing feels very lyrical and flowery, and if you like classic literature, I feel like you would like the writing style. It follows our heroine who at the beginning of her college semester is assaulted by someone that she thought she could really trust, her professor. And obviously when it happens, it's this really dark moment in her life, but it becomes much worse because the people around her that she thought that she could trust don't believe her. In fact, the president of the university, who was a woman that was actually her mentor, tries to cover it up. When she comes back for the next semester, she wants revenge. She wants revenge against the man that hurt her, the woman that covered it up, and in her process of getting that revenge, she ends up seducing the president of the university's daughter. Sapphic romance, Medusa retelling. It is a little bit of a darker romance, so I would make sure to read the trigger warnings, but I love it. I think it's perfect. So Samantha, why do you have so many copies? Great question. Love to tell you. First one I got in PR. Gianna Darling saw my reading vlog and actually sent it to me, which is so special. And she sent it with like different stickers and things like that. So this one is signed, but it's not personalized. And then the second copy, my good friend Tiffany from Tiff Talks Pages went to a book signing where Gianna was at. I've never had the privilege of meeting Gianna in person, and she knows how much I love her, so she surprised me by getting a personalized copy. So this one is personalized to me, Samantha, and also has a really sweet note from Tiffany as well. So this one is very, very special. And these two are special editions that were available at a book signing that I was not able to go to. So this first one was an edition that Gianna did with Hello Lovely. I think this was for their Triple the Month box that I was not subscribed to at the time, but Jessica from Peaceful Books was able to snag me a copy and get it personalized. I think this cover is so pretty and fits the book so well, so I'm excited to have that one. And this one is a special hardcover edition that my friend Sarah was able to help me get. I think this is a signing exclusive if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if she like has a place on her website where she sells them, but it's a hardcover with like this foil design, so freaking stunning. Do you see how they're different? We have a hardcover special edition, a paperback special edition with an alternate cover. I have a personalized edition, and then I have a regular one that I can annotate when I do my reread, which I will be doing because I like to reread my favorite books from time to time. It's like a comfort thing for me, so I can annotate this, highlight it, write in it, and I won't be worried about messing it up because I have 3 other copies. That is my justification. Nobody really needs more than 1 copy of one book, but I just love this book so much. It's my favorite. I love it so much. This book is just really near and dear to my heart as a sapphic romance, and the way it described the general queer experience really resonated with me. I really connected with that, and I also love how this embodies like the epitome of female rage, you know? So it does so many things so freaking well, and I'll stop talking about it. But yeah, those are the first copies I have. Recently, I went to a book festival. Now, this book festival wasn't really romance focused, but I did pick up a couple of different books that I'll share with you. I went to this festival with my friend Lacey from Lacey Book Lovers. Kind of just walked around, ate at some food truck. It was a lot of fun, and I did end up getting 4 books from that festival. Stevie Lit had a booth at this festival, and they were doing a signing where Julie SoDo was at, so me and Lacey stopped there, and I got a signed copy of Forget Me Not. Julie SoDo is so freaking gorgeous, by the way. I actually have not read this book. I know. I don't typically gravitate towards contemporary romances, but I know this is everyone's favorite, and I actually have a feeling that I would like it too. So I'm gonna read it soon. I think I'm gonna put this in my May TBR, especially because it's like flowers, feels very spring. Basically, the overall premise is our heroine is a wedding planner, and she gets hired for this huge event, and when she gets hired, she realizes that she has to work with her ex-boyfriend, who is a florist. They'll have to work together for this wedding. I adore second chance romance. It's actually one of my favorite tropes, so I'm excited to get to this one. I also picked up Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers because this author was also at the festival, so I was able to get it signed. This is a cozy mystery that I've seen floating around, and I'm really intrigued by. I don't know if it's more contemporary leaning or if it is actually a cozy mystery, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, and I am excited to read it. Another one that I picked up at the festival, kind of on a whim because I saw the cover and I was just immediately drawn to it. I think I passed this table like 4 or 5 times, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it. This is an anthology. It is 14 Fantastic Tales of Trans Magic. Basically, it is a collection of short stories with a bunch of trans and non-binary authors. Just felt like right up my alley. I love anything that's fantastical. I love reading books that are diverse and queer, and also I do love anthologies. I like a short story because whenever I'm in a reading slump or if I'm reading a book that's really intense, I like to pick up a short story and just read a couple chapters. It helps if I'm reading a lot of the same genre, gets me out of reading slumps, and I'm happy to have this one. The cover is so stunning. This bookstore was also selling this to me. Okay, she was hyping it up. She said she loves so many of the authors on this list, and I was like, you know what, girl? Add it to my bag. I need it. Another one that was screaming my name was My Pretty Vampire by Katie Skelly. This is a graphic novel, which I have been getting more into, and it's sapphic vampires. Hello, that's literally everything that I love and adore. Recently did a reading vlog where I read a bunch of sapphic vampire books. It was so much fun, but I didn't get to a lot of sapphic vampire books that I had on my TBR, so I'm thinking of doing a part 2, and this one might be in it. The art for this is just so pretty and cute. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, I'm excited to get to this one. Another book that I recently got is Honeythorn by Marina Vivancos. You guys already know Marina Vivancos is one of my favorite authors of all time. I absolutely adore her books. She predominantly writes queer romances that are sweepingly romantic and so emotional. They have the most amazing mental health rep, and I just love her writing style. I'm a huge fan of her. I've read her entire backlist, and for the longest time, she was only writing on Kindle Unlimited, but this year, she's been slowly releasing some of her more popular books in paperback. So every time she comes out with a new release, I get it. It's just an auto buy author for me because I've given pretty much all of her books 5 stars, and I'm so excited to have them in paperback and reread them and annotate them. Honeythorn is the first book in a duology. It is an Omega-verse romance set in a historical time period. You can read both of the books as standalones, but they have very similar tropes. They're both Omega-verse and have arranged marriages. This book follows our Omega Milan, and he is set up in an arranged marriage to marry an alpha from a neighboring kingdom. Travels to the north in this very snowy, isolated area that is very different from where he grows up. Though it is an arranged marriage, he's very optimistic about it and is trying to make the best out of the situation, but when he gets there, the alpha is very cold and grumpy. It does have some trigger warnings that I would recommend checking out before you pick it up. Our hero is very grumpy, okay, and has a lot of groveling to do in this book. I feel like the groveling was done very, very well. I believe she has already released the paperback for the second book in the duology, Cherry Vine, which is another arranged marriage. I need to pick that one up to complete the collection. I will say, if you're not familiar with Omegaverse and the dynamics, I would recommend picking up this series because Marina Vivancos explains the dynamics of Omegaverse very, very well. Switching gears a little bit, I have some fantasy books that I picked up recently. Okay, if you guys have been watching my reading vlogs, you would know that I'm going on a journey into the Cosmere, into the Brandon Sanderson universe. I never really considered myself a fantasy person, but I ended up picking up Tress of the Emerald Sea kind of on a whim. I saw some people on Book Talk recommend it and speak very highly of it, and I was intrigued, so I picked it up and loved it. That is a epic fantasy adventure book with a little bit of a Princess Bride retelling. Our heroine is so brave and adventurous, and I loved reading about her. After reading that book, I was intrigued. I was invested. I never really picked up Brandon Sanderson, one, because I just didn't read fantasy like that, and two, because his backlist is so extensive, and some of his books are thousands of pages, and it can be a little intimidating. I went to TikTok, as I normally do, and I asked you guys, what books should I pick up from him? What should I read next? And you guys gave me your recommendations, which I'm so grateful for. So Target was having a book sale last month, and I decided to just, you know, pick up some of his books based on the recommendations that you guys gave me. So the first one was another one of his secret projects. This is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Spoiler alert, I've already read this. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely adored it. I'm filming this. I've read 3 Brandon Sanderson books, and I'm in the middle of the 4th one right now. I've given all of them 5 stars so far, but if I had to pick favorite, I think it would be Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, because the writing was so fun. The magic system was wicked cool. I've never read anything like it. And also it did have a subtle romance, and you guys know I'm a romance girly at heart, so I loved our characters in this book. It is essentially a high epic fantasy with a Freaky Friday twist. The 2 characters come from 2 worlds. Our heroine is what they call a Yoki Hijo, performs an artistic ritual that gathers the spirits of the gods. She gathers those spirits. She is able to make requests for her town. And it is a very noble profession, but it's also very lonely because she spends her entire life solely focused on serving her people. Our hero comes from a completely separate world that is shrouded in this darkness and these nightmares, and he is what they call a nightmare painter. Also an artist, and his job is to protect the town from these shadowy monsters, both kind of like living this solitary existence until one magical event happens where they are transported to each other's world. Spirits that our heroine is summoning are asking for help. Not really sure what they need, what they're asking for, how she can help them, but all of a sudden she is transported into another world. End up going back and forth into each other's worlds and trying to figure out how they are going to help the spirits of the gods. This book is so amazing. I absolutely loved it. The underlying discussion of art. The art in this book is so stunning. I would recommend just going on Brandon Sanderson's website and looking at it because it's so pretty. But the discussion of art and supporting real artists. Like I'm rambling at this point, but I cannot tell you how much I love this book. 5 stars. I'll leave the reading vlog down below. Next one I picked up is another one of his secret projects. This is the Sunlet Man. I haven't picked this one up yet because a lot of people did let me know that I need to read his Stormlight Archive series. I think that's the series you guys said to read first before I jump into this one. So I'll have to get into that. I know I've been having really good luck with his secret projects, so that's why I ended up picking up this one. Guys, have you seen the special editions on his website of these? They're so pretty, but also kind of expensive. But they're so pretty. Tell me I don't need them. Tell me I don't need them. Talk me out of it. I don't know. I really want them though. All right, this next one. The Big Zaddy. The Way of Kings. This book is ridiculously long. It's like 1,000 pages. This is one of Brandon Sanderson's more popular books, but also one of his more polarizing ones because it is so long. It is a high epic fantasy. I thought if I'm gonna dive into Brandon Sanderson, I might as well just go all in. So that's why I picked this one up. A lot of people did warn me it's not their favorite of his and that it's more of a prologue to the rest of the series, but once you get through this book into like the 2nd and 3rd book and more of the Cosmere books, it all just clicks. So I'm gonna take your guys' word for it. I will eventually be reading this and doing a reading vlog for it, but I'm a little nervous. The other one I did buy was the first book in the Mistborn series, The Final Empire, but I just have like the dust jacket as I loved it so much. I gave it 5 stars and I ended up convincing my dad to read it, so he has the physical copy. And then the last Brandon Sanderson book I got was Warbreaker, which I'm currently reading right now. I'm not too far into it. I think I'm only on like chapter 7. Oh, chapter 12. So yeah, I still have quite a bit to go through here. When I asked you guys like what book I should start with, which one you guys think I would like, this was the one that you guys recommended the most. It essentially follows the story of 2 sisters who are making different sacrifices for their kingdom. From what I can understand, the magic system surrounds around their breath, where they are able to quite literally breathe life and color into inanimate objects and different people. It also follows the point of view of a lesser god that is celebrated in the kingdom. It has a little bit of an arranged marriage trope. I feel like I'm describing this horribly, but I'm only a couple chapters in, so I'm still trying to understand it myself. All right, we are almost done. The next 3 books I was sent by either the author or the publisher. So the first one I got from Bloom. This is The Deer and the Dragon by Piper CJ. This is another fantasy book that releases in May. So this is definitely going to be on my May TBR. I'm really excited to get this one because I did like The Night in Its Moon by Piper CJ. This is an author that I've been following on TikTok for quite a while, and I just love all of her TikToks and whenever she talks about like Greek mythology. The next book that was sent to me was a book that I was highly anticipating, and that is Midnight of Ashes by Tessa Hale. This is the second book in her Dragons of Ember Hollow series. It's a paranormal wide shoes romance series with dragon shifters. I just love Tessa Hale's writing. I ended up finishing this book in one sitting because it was so fast paced and so engaging. If you like paranormal romances or wide shoes romances, I would highly recommend any Tessa Hale book. You do have to read them in order. This is the second book in the series. The first one ended up on a cliffhanger. This one ended on a cliffhanger. It's just kind of her writing style. So yeah, I would recommend any of her series. Just make sure to read them in order and know going in that most of them end on cliffhangers. And I saved the best for last because I have a whole little book box to unbox with you guys. From Rebecca Genshak, this is one of her newer releases called Burnouts. I have my little strawberry box cutter. This box is so pretty, I don't want to ruin it, but like, where do I open it? Oh, I don't even need my box cutter. That is so cute. Absolutely adorable and kind of matches my outfit today. Okay, first up we have like this luggage tag, or it could be a keychain as well, and it has my initial on it. This is really cute. It also comes with this t-shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's kind of like a motocross themed t-shirt because this book is a motocross book. Then of course we have the book, which I just think this cover is so stunning. This is Burnout by Rebecca Genshak. It's one of her newer releases and it is already out. In this book, our heroine is a professional gymnast and our hero is a motocross rider. There's a little bit of a grumpy sunshine trope. Our hero is needing to train to be on a professional team. He ends up getting paired with our heroine, who at first he underestimates because she's this really bubbly, pretty gymnast. Hello, she's a professional Olympic gymnast with multiple medals, and she puts him through his paces. So I have been really liking this one. I'm almost done. I've been listening to the audiobook, so I don't know exactly what chapter I'm on, but I've been enjoying it so far, and I'm excited to have this little package. All right, so those are all of the books that I've read recently. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. If you had stayed this long, what emoji should we use? How about we use like a little motorcycle emoji? There's a motorcycle emoji, right? Maybe a helmet. Anything that has to do with like motocross, helmet, motorcycle, flag. So go ahead and leave that in the comments down below for this book, and so that I know that you guys stayed this long and you enjoyed the video and we are bookish besties. Alright, I've been talking for a really long time and I didn't even have that many books to show you. Your girl can yap, let me tell you. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!